That would be correct, Roger. Valley Truck Center modified 50-lap feature getting ready to hit the track. Starting on pole, it's going to be the 559 and Damian Lytle. Outside of him, Ohio Invader Dawson Knoll in the number 7. Row number 2, we'll see the 555 of Dale Spencer. 9, the heat race winner Terry Trost. Dominique Van Weeren again in the 95. Tim Ryan in the white number 22. Former street stock track champion Steve Rollins in the 68 with Jeremy Jaraneski to his outside. Row number 5 will be another heat race winner, Ron Hart, 51, and former track champion Scott Quall in the number 1. Luke Warhurst in the 12 starts just outside of your top 10 with Billy Luckhurst to his outside in the 36. And another Ohio veteran, Norm Taylor in the 32, starts lucky number 13. Next to your fast qualifier and current points leader, Aaron Taylor. Outside of the invert, it's the 34 at Nick Clemens in 15th, followed by the 911 at Dick Maurer. 29 of Matt Mackey, scheduled to start 17th over the 62 of Stephen Pelkey. 19th on the grid, the 86 of Scott Clifford, another heat race winner, and the 4 of Lon Putnam. In the 57 is Josh Savinsky, and the 5 of Jacob Lonsberry. Then the 40 of Chris Stark, and the 2 of Rich Eady. And we have the 34, excuse me, a Landon Stark, and not answering the call, the 01 of John King. Looks like we're short one other car. Looks like it's going to be the 911 of Maurer, also not answering the call. So we have 24 cars going 50 laps. Valley Truck Center Modifieds A feature coming up. Did you have fun giving away golf balls, Roger?
I did. I almost put a couple in my pocket.
Make you think of Zach Heiser?
I did, a lot, yes.
All right. So 50 laps will be the distance here as Lytle and Knoll will be your front row. A deep invert drawn for the modifieds
14.
tonight. 14.
So I'm guessing nobody took the Midwest, Kimball Midwest Challenge.
Nope, it'll continue on to, well, I guess next week, because there's no qualifying tomorrow
that's right.
for the beer stock.
That's
so it'll
true.
go on next week, $900.
Ooh-wee. Come on, we can't ask the ASA All-Star Tour?
I mean, we could, but I feel like there's a couple people that would be here tomorrow that would not want us to do that.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, it's $15,000 to win tomorrow, so $900
What's nine?
is just
Yeah.
a drop in the hat for those guys. And if you want to see somebody racing for $15,000, be here tomorrow, 1 o'clock, ASA Stars National Tour. First time at Owosso Speedway since 1979.
When Mike Eddy won it.
When Mike Eddy won it. Looks like Tim Ryan electing to move to the back of the field. We're less a couple cars, so we got to rearrange our lineup here.
Oh, a little shake and bake.
Yep.
A little Yahtzee.
22 of Tim Ryan went to the back. He was supposed to start pretty high up in the field. He was supposed to start 6th. So that means we have to reconfigure from basically the 3rd row back. Plus we lost the 911 at Dick Maurer as well. And he was supposed to start 16th. So a couple cars light, get things all shuffled around. Looks like we're good to go. All right, so 50 laps. Valley Truck Center Modifieds getting ready to go. All right, turn 4 to turn 1. Need you up on your feet one more time. Valley Truck Center Modifieds getting ready to go. Get up on your feet, put those hands in the air. Wave them back and forth. They'll wave back to you. All right, field gets the one to go signal. Safety car is going to duck into the infield. We're about to go fast for 50 laps.
All right, 50 times a lady. As it's already getting dicey on the back straightaway. They're already knocking each other around there in the back half of the field. There's a very slow start up front. Lytle and Null, here they come. Green flag is out and we're underway.
Lytle and Null right on each other at the start, but Null gets around the outside. He'll take the lead as we head off into turn number 3 for the first time.
Oh, Lytle off the pace. Look like going down to turn number 2 there, or rather number 4. Caused that inside line to have to back up just a bit.
Yeah, it looked like he had to get off of it in a hurry. That allowed the inside line to get all kinds of checked up as the 9 and Terry Trost now will get around Lytle on the outside to move up into the second spot. Now with this invert being so deep, Roger, this could be a great opportunity for some drivers that maybe haven't made it to victory lane yet, especially if this goes green wire to wire, because that's a long way for your fast guys to work their way through traffic.
Yeah, guys like Dale Spencer right now working in that 5th spot. Great starting position for this guy, looking to gather up some points as he tries to get into the top 5 in the season-long point standings. But I tell you what, there's gonna be a top side to this. Walking on that front straightaway, Chris, it was definitely a sticky asphalt on the front straight. So I can only imagine what it's like in the corners.
Well, not to mention we had a heavy division like the street stocks on those F70s putting rubber down. We also had 2 different divisions on the 10-inch slick that were out here laying rubber down today, so it stands to reason that we should have a pretty good bite up in that second groove.
Front 6 now, nose to tail. Dominique Van Wieringen, the last one on that snake, so to speak, as she's chasing down the 555 of Dale Spencer. It's still Null and Trost leading the way, Lytle in the 3rd spot.
And Van Wieringen goes to make a move on the 555 of Spencer, but she gets a couple tires down on that concrete. Looks like it may have upset the handle a little bit. She had to give some room back to Spencer.
Oh, spin.
Oh, Scott Quall goes around, got a car pinned behind him as the caution comes out.
And your point leader just barely able to make a right-hand adjustment coming out of that corner to avoid that. That happened right in front of the 22 of Taylor.
Can't quite tell who's behind the 1 car right now. But yes, Quall went around in 3 and 4, and whoever that is right next to his driver's side door just nowhere to go, got kind of caught up in that.
Maybe, I was gonna say maybe 32 and Norm Taylor. Yeah.
Glad somebody's got a better angle on that than we do.
I took a guess looking at, I saw, okay, 3 guys did not go across, and I know it wasn't Landon Stark, because he's in the infield, unfortunately. Yeah, it looked like, couldn't tell, but it almost looked like maybe he had a little shove.
Yeah, it will.
Field ready to go as we get ready to take that green flag. Null and Trost down to the green flag they come.
And a great restart by Trost. He gets clear of Dawson Null by the time we get to turn 3.
Boy, would that be a story if Trost walks away with a victory here today. Null in 2nd, Rollins in 3rd. Oh, I thought there was going to be someone slapping that concrete back there. Lytle trying to claw his way back up, though.
It looked very close in the back half of the field for a couple drivers there, Roger.
And one of those is Taylor in the 22. Matt Prier said there's no way someone can, or no, Rich France said no one can come from 14th and win a modified race at Owosso Speedway. And I said, you just sit back, my friend, and watch that 22. Okay, I embellished it. I didn't say my friend.
Well, that's fair. Yeah.
2nd spot up for grabs. Boy, that 68 machine catching some lightning speed here, trying to get around Null's number 7.
Well, Steve Rollins in that 68 car has a ton of laps here at the Owosso Speedway over the years. And as mentioned, this deep invert gives some drivers a chance to show what they got at the front of the field that don't normally get to start up there. So Rollins showing that he's got some good speed in that number 68 as he works around Dawson Null, trying to get up into the runner-up position.
Boy, Terry Trost would love to see this go caution-free, but with 37 laps to go, that could be a tall order. He's got over a 1.7 second advantage before you get to that battle for second spot. And Rollins doing a heck of a job on that top side. It's back and forth between he and Knoll. And watching the 22 of Taylor, he is working that high side to his advantage.
Yeah, Taylor working to the outside of Luke Warhurst now, trying to move up into the 6th position. Started 14th on the grid, and he is continuing to march his way forward around Warhurst. Now going to work on the 95 of Van Wieringen. No, not around Warhurst. My apologies. Warhurst fighting back.
Yeah, 22 might want to think, unless Null gets himself in line. Looks like he will there. I was just going to say, maybe that 22 of Taylor was going to have to think about getting to the inside line because that 7 keeps dropping back. And Van Wieringen keeps going to the top side, and they're all bumping each other as they came through turns 1 and 2. I think the 22 needs to get out of that beehive in a hurry.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's trying to do as he now works around the 95 of Dominique Van Wieringen. He moves up into the top 5 for the first time tonight. And he immediately continues to ride that momentum. He'll get around the outside of the 7 of Dawson Null. That moves Aaron Taylor up into the 4th position.
Trost continues to set the pace, exactly 2 seconds ahead of Steve Rollins. Lytle in 3rd, then it's Taylor and Null barely holding on to 5th because Dominique Van Wieringen is about to make a move on that number 7. She works the high side. Straightaway advantage still for Trost. 2 1/4 seconds. He continues to pull away, and he's still probably a good 5, 6, 7 laps before he gets to the tail end of the field where lap traffic could play an issue.
Well, this will be unexpected news from everybody watching this race right now, but Aaron Taylor is the fastest car on the track, more than a 10th quicker than your leader that last lap by. As we are closing in on the halfway point, Trost continuing to maintain up at the front of the field as he is closing in rapidly on the 4 of Lon Putnam and the 5 of Jacob Lonsberry at the back of the field.
And Taylor's got to get through this traffic because Trost is pulling away by about a 1/4 second every lap, although that was probably the least. Right there was about 0.15 seconds quicker or further in front than he was the last time by, but he is pulling away very rapidly. Now I wonder if he gets himself too complacent and just starts riding laps here to maybe try to avoid catching that lap traffic at a bad point in time.
Halfway home as we get back to the line, 25 in, 25 to go. Trost continuing to lead over Rollins, Lytle, Taylor, and Van Wieringen, your top 5. Taylor going to try the outside of Lytle. Taylor knocked down those first 10 cars relatively easily on his way towards the front of the field. He has not been nearly as lucky trying to get around the 559 and Damian Lytle. For every bit as good as the 22 has been on that outside groove, the 559 has been tenacious like a pit bull on the inside groove.
Well, I'll tell you what he's doing here is he keeps blocking about 3/4 of the way down the straightaway because Taylor's got that nose all the way to the door and Lytle keeps blocking him, and now I think Taylor gave him a little bit of the bumper so he could get by on the inside to move Taylor up a position now.
Yeah, Taylor may have had his fill of that as he now works his way past Lytle as the 9 of Trost works his way through lap traffic, got past the 4 of Lon Putnam, 40 of Chris Stark, and the 5 of Jacob Lonsberry, relative newcomer to the modified ranks. Haven't seen that car compete much outside of Corrigan or Springport. And now the 9 of Trost will try to work past the rookie.
Rollins trying to get by lap traffic here. The number 40 machine steps out to the top side. They get by, so does the 20. It looks like that 40 machine of Chris Stark rather, letting everybody know, hey, I'm going to stay out of the way. And now Taylor for the second spot, trying to use the 4 machine. The caution is out. Dawson Null around in car number 7.
We'll see what's going to happen. 20 laps left on the board as we come out of the M&K Truck Center restart zone. Green flag out. Good restart by Trost. Also a very good restart by Taylor.
Not surprised on the Taylor one at all as he'll slide in that second spot. putting Rollins back to third. So Rollins can't be happy with how that one resolved itself as he falls back from the outside front row back to third. Caution, front straightaway, Pelkey around. So the number 62 of Stephen Pelkey out of Durant. Looking the wrong way on the front straightaway. Not the, maybe if he's on the other side of the wall would be an all right view, but not from that spot anyway.
No, typically you don't like to be looking at the field as it's coming towards you.
Well, the two cars that had the best restart, the last restart, are ready to restart.
Right next to each other.
Absolutely. It's going to be a heck of a drag race out of that M&K Truck Center restart zone. And Trost again gets the jump on Taylor. Oh, front straightaway up in the air on his roof, sliding down on turn number 1. Is that the Lido machine?
Yep, 559.
Drove up the track, got the right sides up on the wall, and for the ride, he went all the way down the front straightaway and around turn 1 on his roof. Safety officials quickly over to assess. And we'll get the 1 to go signal. Got to be tough to sit there for about as long as they were racing, just to go back racing, but be strapped in that car the whole time.
Maybe some of them got a nice little nap. All right, well, safety car pulls off. We'll see what happens here in our final run of this one. Terry Trost and Aaron Taylor, your front row. Green flag is at the ready, and we are back underway.
All right, we make it down the front straightaway just fine this time. Still a battle up front, but there goes Taylor. Boy, cleared him like nothing down the back straightaway.
And Taylor still hanging out up in that second groove and hasn't slowed down at all. First battle on track right now is the one for third as Dawson Null and Luke Warhurst duke it out for third.
But Taylor comes back from the 14th starting position, takes over the lead. Trost, who's probably a little bummed out, he had such good rhythm going in the first half of this one, finds himself now a distant second spot. Warhurst in third, Null in fourth, Van Wieringen with a great run in the 5th spot.
Yeah, if we took this race by amount of time as leader, Terry Trost would have definitely far and away won. Unfortunately, that's not how it works.
Nobody being terribly aggressive, although Qual did take a look top side of the 34 machine, decided better of it. Clemens holds on to that 6th spot in that machine. Qual in 7th, Hart in 8th. Luckhurst inside the top 10, so is Scotty Clifford.
Nick Clemens up to the 6th spot. He started pretty deep. He actually started behind the invert. So I believe he may have even started another spot behind Taylor.
He did. He started in the 15th spot,
yes. Did not have the best handling car earlier on in the day, but perseverance paying off as he now runs just outside of the top 5 in that 6th position.
Well, this guy, I think, put a lot of that hot shoe money back into the car because he looks faster than he was just 2 weeks ago, as now he's got a 2.3 second advantage over this field now. Nearly as big as Trost's biggest lead earlier on with 11 to go.
Yeah, I feel like if we had known this is how it was going to be when we brought the race back to green, maybe we could have just saved everyone some time.
Right, exactly. As everyone's single file here, nobody trying a high lane here. Nobody really putting a lot of pressure on the car in front of them. Full straightaway here as now we're coming up to inside, 10 to go, make it 9 this time by Aaron Taylor, all by himself out front, nobody out there to play with. And he's got another straightaway in front of him before he gets to the back end of the field.
Well, the 36 of Billy Luckhurst and the 1 of Scott Qual battling for position. That's for the 8th spot. Luckhurst has the inside line, had the advantage last lap, and looks like he'll be clear of Qual as he gets back here with 8 laps to go.
Yeah, Taylor about a 1/10 of a second quicker than everybody else in this field, and still a mighty lead. Make it 3.2 seconds here as we're closing into the 5 final laps. Trost and Warhurst all alone.
Oh,
second and third.
Rich Eady off the pace in the 2. Looks like he's trying to get to the inside. Maybe not. He's puttering around at the top of the track.
Here he's picking up some speed now as field makes its way underneath him. And he's going to come to a stop. Now, Chris, I guess without radios, they don't know if someone's coming up on the inside of them, and they've pretty much been.
Well, these guys do. Some of them are.
Oh, some of them. Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Radios. Well, they can all run radios. Some of them have chosen to.
And just wondering why, what happened behind the wheel there that he wasn't able to make the turn into the infield.
Well, it looked like it was beginning to take off again.
Yeah, when he went into 3, yes.
And yeah, and then it slowed right back down. All right, we got the field lined up 2 by 2 as we're getting set to go. Taylor and Trost, your front row. Flip-flop from last time. So we'll flip-flop and fly with 5 laps remaining as they head to the M&K Truck Center restart zone. Green flag's out. We're back underway.
And again, Taylor able to get the good start, but Trost this time had some fight in him in that number 9. He was at least able to get some sort of run on the outside of turn number 2, but the best he can do is fall in line behind your race leader.
I mean, as far as modifieds go this season, it's really been Aaron Taylor's world. We're all just playing in it.
Looking for feature win number 7. I want to say feature win number 9 overall this season.
At least.
And he is 3 laps away from doing so.
Oh, caution on the Speedway. I believe, Scott Qual. Scott Qual up against the wall in turn number 1.
I see Clifford on the inside wall, or by the inside wall, and cannot see who that is by the 1 machine. I would guess possibly, well, I don't know.
That's not
Clemens and Luckhurst were right there, but I see both of them on the track. Maybe Ron Hart? It's a black car.
No, there's Ron right there.
Oh, yep, okay. We'll keep going up the list here. I'm going to stop speculating. I might say Chris Stark in the 40. Well, we hold our breath as we get set to go. Final 3 laps in the marathon we call the Valley Truck Center's modified division as they work their way through the M&K Truck Center restart zone. We're green. Taylor gets the spot, and he's pulling away. Warhurst in second. Trost falls back to 3rd. 2 to go.
And we are inching our way.
I don't dare get up off this seat to get ready for an interview yet, Chris.
No, you stay put.
Oh,
All right.
Trost pulls, knocks on the back end of Warhurst and pushes him out of the way.
The white flag is out. Taylor well ahead of the field as Trost moves up to 2nd. Into turn number 4. We finally made it. Checkered flag is out. Your winners, Aaron Taylor, Terry Trost 2nd, Luke Warhurst 3rd, Dominique Van Wieringen 4th, and Ron Hart. Top 5 finish for him.